From Mac and Bob's Restaurant in Salem, Virginia, it's time for Maroons Tuesday Night Live. Here are your hosts for tonight's show, Richmond Bramblett and Brett Peltier.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mac and Bob's for another edition of Tuesday Night Live for Tuesday, October 30th, All Hallows Eve. Our guest for tonight, head men's soccer coach Scott Allison, head women's soccer coach Phil Binney, assistant director of student activities Lindsay Yoder, history professor Mark Miller, senior soccer player Chris Conover, senior volleyball setter Shannon Stone, men's soccer alumnus Scott Anderson, director of the Spirit team Morgan Bowers, and as always, strength and conditioning coach Dave Sampson with the workhorses of the week. But right now, we're going to take a look back at the action over the past couple of weeks.
The field hockey team finished its 2012 season with a record of 4-13, 3-5 in the ODAC. Kelly Finn led the team with 5 goals, while Marceline Peak had 4 goals and 5 assists. Roanoke earned the 6th seed in the ODAC tournament after winning a tiebreaker with Eastern Mennonite after having beaten them in the regular season. They lost 7-1 in the first round of the ODAC tournament to Bridgewater. Leanna Hackborn scored off a rebound for the team's only goal.
And moving on to men's soccer, the men's soccer team has a record of 11-4-1 and won the ODAC regular season title with a record of 8-2-1. The team clinched that title with a 2-1 double overtime victory over Emory and Henry. A.J. Tears got both goals off of a penalty kick. Patrick Bain had 6 shots, 4 of which were on goal, and Mark Strelo had 4 shots, 2 of which were on goal. The Maroons are also coming off a 2-1 victory over Eastern Mennonite University. Tyler Carbaugh and Robbie Lentini both scored goals in that game, while Patrick Bain had 6 shots, 2 of which were on goal.
The Roanoke College volleyball team is 16-14, 5-6 in the ODAC, and they dropped 2 contests over the weekend to 2 Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference teams. Bluffton University 3-0 by scores of 20-25, 19-25, and 22-25, and Mount St. Joseph's by scores of 9-25, 19-25, and 21-25 on Saturday. This was the first meeting between Roanoke and the 2 opponents this weekend. Against the Beavers of Bluffton, Alexandra Martin led the team with 18 assists, while Shannon Stone tallied 10. Sarah Long topped the Maroons in kills with 10, followed by Macy Tyree, who finished with 8. Mackenzie Tyree, who leads Roanoke in digs this season, finished with the match with 25. The Maroons faced the possibility of a tougher team in the Lions of Mount St. Joseph's in the second match of the day. Mackenzie Tyree finished the match with 13 digs. Alexandra Martin had the most assists on the squad with 7, followed by Stone and Jordan Hegel with 4 and 3 respectively. Sarah Long and Mackenzie Tyree each put away 4 kills on the afternoon.
And moving on to women's soccer, the women's soccer team finished the regular season with a record of 10-6-3, 8-3-1 in ODAC play. The season was their 7th consecutive 10-win season, a feat the Maroons have only accomplished one other time in the 1990 through 1996 seasons, where they won 92 games in that span. The Maroons won their final regular season contest against Randolph-Macon on Tuesday, the October 23rd, 2-1. Rebecca Adams scored the opening goal, assisted by Carmen Graves. Then Lauren O'Brien scored the game winner off of an Adams assist. But the women fell in the ODAC tournament opener in penalty kicks, 4-2 against Bridgewater. Cindy Satora and Stephanie Parenteau each scored in regulation. Then Adams and Maya Cantor scored on penalty kicks. We'll be back in just one moment as I sit down and talk with the director of the Spirit team,
Roanoke College. Timeless and true. Smart and solid. Practical and professional. Making discoveries about yesterday. Creating visions for tomorrow. Lifted by a winning college spirit. Forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College. Classic for tomorrow.
Looking for great food and the big game in high def? Try the new menu items at All Sports Cafe, including thick and juicy burgers grilled to perfection, served with fries and your choice of any side item. All Sports Cafe, where the object is to score great food.
Roanoke College would like to thank its corporate sponsors: ServiceMaster, MedExpress, All Sports, Mac and Bob's, Chick-fil-A, and the Roanoke College Bookstore.
we're back here at Mac and Bob's with Director of the Spirit Team, Morgan Bowers. First of all, Morgan, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much. Glad to be here.
And it's great to have the Director of our Spirit Team here for this episode as we're gearing up for the ODAC tournament for our fall sports teams and for our basketball season. Now, you're a native of Roanoke as a Cave Spring High School product and a member of the dance team. Can you tell us a little bit about your dance background?
Sure. I started dancing at a local studio when I was 5 years old and continued dancing there for the next 13 years. I studied jazz, tap, ballet point, and lyrical. I was a member of the performing company for 7 years and a teacher there for 4 years. After graduating from Cave Spring High School, I attended Virginia Tech, where I was a member of the High Techs, and I performed at football games and basketball games, soccer games, volleyball matches, and pep rallies. When I returned to Roanoke, I returned to the studio that I grew up in and taught there for 4 years.
Now, you said you went on to Virginia Tech. Now, you graduated in 2007, and again, as you said, you were a member of the High Tech Dance Squad for 4 years. Mm-hmm. In 2010, you graduated with your master's degree at your alma mater. As a member of the dance team, what were some of your greatest memories with the Hokies?
I have so many wonderful memories as a High Tech at Virginia Tech. But the greatest memory that I have is standing on the football field right before the football team comes on, hearing Enter Sandman, and seeing and feeling 60,000 fans jump in unison in excitement, and then being able to lead the football team onto the field. It's a great memory that I have, and it gives me chills to think about it.
Now, you've stayed active in the scene of dance since graduation, working at a dance studio and worked several camps during your summers. How do you think this experience has helped prepare you for your current position here at Roanoke College?
Well, teaching is something that I feel comes very naturally to me. And as you mentioned, I've had many opportunities to do this in the past. And from these experiences, I've learned how to run an organized practice and to give constructive critiques and also to produce clean routines. While I feel these experiences have prepared me for this position, I think the person who has prepared me the most is my former coach, Ricky Hill. He is a great coach, someone that I look up to, a true inspiration. He's a strong coach, but he's also approachable. And I hope in the years to come that that's something that the dancers and cheerleaders that I'm working with now will say about me.
Sure. Now, you have a great responsibility and opportunity as the Spirit Team Director here at Roanoke College. We've never had one person really take over both cheer and dance at the same time.
Right.
How have you approached this, and what steps have you really taken already to prepare for this season?
Well, I am very fortunate to have the opportunity to work with 24 wonderful young women. We are a very strong team, and we work very well together. Because many of them have been on the team before, I look to them for guidance. Everyone, including our newest members, has helped to get the season off to a great start. We began practicing in September for upcoming appearances and performances. Our first appearance was at a home soccer game, and we had a lot of fun with that. Our first performance is actually going to be this weekend at the American Heart Association's Heart Walk.
Oh, cool.
So we're going to be not only cheering on, but also performing for the participants there. So we're looking forward to that.
Good. It sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Now, you've already made great strides working with both the teams, and as you said, you've been working at the soccer matches. With that said, what are your expectations and plans for the season and really moving forward with the cheer and dance and the Spirit Team?
Well, I'm very excited to have this opportunity to work on establishing a very respected Spirit program here at Roanoke College. My greatest expectation is for the Spirit program to be a very visible part of campus life. Now to address my plans for the future of the program, I recently told the girls one night at practice that if they continue to work as hard as they are right now, the sky's the limit for our program. And that's something that I truly believe. They're a very talented group of girls, and I feel with my guidance, who knows where the program's going to go. I'm very excited for our future.
Good. Well, Again, we've got 100 years of basketball coming up and getting ready to get started. So while it may not be 60,000, hopefully we'll have a lot of people coming out to the basketball games and getting to see the Spirit Team in action.
That'll be wonderful.
Morgan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We'll be back in just one moment with history professor Mark Miller. Stay with us.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
Join the team and support Roanoke College student athletes. As a Maroon Club member, you can support the young men and women who represent the college on its athletic teams, in its intramurals, and on club sports. You'll get athletic and recreational team news straight from the coaches, be invited in club events, and receive an official Maroon Club decal. For more information, visit www.roanoke.edu/Maroon Club and become a member of the Maroon Club today.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
The well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot shot, score! A family with your team that can guide you.
Here at Mac and Bob's with history professor Mark Miller. First of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now it's great to get you on this episode. As we have a lot of really good things to talk about coming up. Now, as former chair of the history department, there are two events coming up that really that will gain your interest. One of them is Founders Day / Biddles Bash, which will be held November 12th on campus. Could you tell us about the background of Founders Day and what it really means to the college today?
Sure. It started about 20 years ago in its present creation, and it is a day to celebrate our establishment and founding, and David Biddle, our first president's birthday altogether. And it involves an afternoon bonfire and a collection of folks, and then a carriage ride and a walk through town, a parade up to the cemetery where we lay a wreath at Biddle's grave, and others from Roanoke College's past, students and faculty and staff as well. And then we finish that off with a Biddle birthday bash. The students named it that 20 years ago, featuring, as I said, music fast and loud the way Biddle liked it.
Sure.
And that's been a fun karaoke night ever since.
Now there's some other traditions. There's cake, always.
Cake. Birthday.
Now what's the? We were in a meeting talking about all the different things that we're going to go on for Founders Day, and you were explaining the kind of symbolism of the bonfire that we were talking about at one point.
You mean the healing powers?
Yes, the healing powers of the bonfire.
Healing powers of the Biddle bonfire, absolutely, well known on campus. It entails the students with the worst ever, like Blue Book or most horrific exam or the worst paper ever written. You can bring that to the bonfire, and then the memory is erased, if not from the grade, at least from your memory. And the students take great pride in not overusing that privilege, but it keeps the bonfire going.
Well, I kind of hate to say that really my worst Blue Book was actually in a history class, so I apologize for that in advance.
That's all right.
Now, another event that's really approaching is the 100 Years of Basketball at Roanoke College. This obviously has a lot of historical significance, as we're one of the top 25 programs in the country with at least 1,300 program wins. Assistant Athletic Director for External Relations, Brad Moore, has planned a great season-long event that will celebrate our proud basketball tradition here at Roanoke College. As a history professor and a fan of Roanoke College basketball, what does this event really mean to you?
I think the whole celebration is a terrific honor and recognition of a great tradition. I think basketball, better than any other sport, has kept it together for 100 years. No other sport can claim that. So it's sort of the foundation athletic accomplishment for the college. We had football for 75 years, but we lose it in the war. And soccer comes back as a replacement, really, in the 40s. Women's intercollegiate athletics begins in the 50s. We've had baseball off and on for 120 years, but not consistently through, and golf has come and gone, and tennis and the rest of it. But there's always been basketball since 1911.
And as you really know, the history of Roanoke College itself, what was Roanoke College basketball like, Mac, in the early part of the 1900s?
I think if we were to look at a clip from a ball game of the 1910s, I think we could recognize it and say, yeah, they're playing basketball, but it's pretty different in lots of ways. You could dribble one time and then stop. Then you could pass it, but pass had to be higher than the other guy guarding his head. And if you had dribbled once, you couldn't shoot the ball, so it was certainly more deliberate. The basket was attached to the wall, and so you guys got pretty good at climbing the wall to make a layup easier. Substitutions were different, like baseball in the 1910s. So you once you went out, you were out, and the substitute came in. That changes later in the 20s. Only 2 fouls at the time. They expanded to 4 by the end of the decade. Lots of different rules. Free throw shooting. One guy was a designated free throw shooter up until the 20s. So whoever got fouled, it didn't matter. But if you were the best guy on the team, you shot. And the old line was from 21 feet. So good luck.
Yeah.
They moved that line into 15 feet. In fact, about 1914, and then they changed that rule in the 20s. So the guy getting fouled gets the shot. But it was almost more like racquetball in a sense. They played in a chamber. They played in very tightly defined space, and the wall was not necessarily out of bounds, but you could play a carom off the wall, and it wasn't the ball leaving your hand that made it out of bounds. It was the next guy who touched it got the ball back, so you could actually throw it off a wall, and your guy could be 25 feet behind you and catch it, and then play it again. So lots of different rules. After every bucket, they had to jump the ball from center court, and pretty deliberate, pretty slow.
You can definitely see how earlier sports, especially as you're talking about baseball, it was like a designated, not that the designated hitter was back in that time really, but that at least you can see just how it progressed basketball from maybe all those other sports in that time.
Yep, absolutely.
Now the Mass Center, the Salem Civic Center, and the Alumni Gym have at all one point been called home for the Maroons. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of the historical landmark on campus known as Alumni Gym, and significance not only for the program but for the college as well?
Sure. Alumni Gym opens in 1930, and if the people watching, if their history is any good, they'd realize this is a bad year to sign a $230,000 note on any kind of construction project.
Absolutely.
with the depression upon us and the stock market crash right behind us. But we endured anyway, and so the gym had that sort of inauspicious beginning, and had a pool in the basement, so it was quite the facility for its time in the 30s. And we should mention too, in passing, that we had an earlier gym in 1910, which was almost even more remarkable because that was a basketball-built facility, one of a handful in the country, actually, that was designed for basketball.
Wow.
And so that served us well for 20 years, but that was perfectly antiquated, only had a little balcony on one side that about 50 people could watch, maybe. But through the 30s, I think it was a neat tradition. We have a famous moment for us in 37, 38, 39. The five smart boys are important to us in our history, and these are real giant killers. So they were hugely successful here and in the league and even in postseason play. So those guys were exactly what you want.
Now, as a longtime professor at the college, you've been really here to have a front row seat at a lot of the RC home basketball games and some of the greatest games in the history of the program. What are some that really stand out to you?
I guess my favorite moment was being on the bus to Michigan in '83 for the Final Four. The last time we got there, and that was a remarkable team, and Ed Green and all the rest of those guys, and it was fun. We came up a bit short, but still those memories of being away for a weekend and hoping that would come through is among the best and the clearest. I mean, those guys were amazing. Gerald Holmes and Kenny and Bruce and Baker and Dwayne, quite a collection. And it's been fun watching them and the women over the last 34 years I've been here. It's been a real privilege to just kind of watch and admire what they've all done, and for Paige and Susan to have been here this long too. It's been a real tribute to not just them, but to the whole program and to their athletes and the college as well. I got to get a plug in for my history boys too. For a number of years, we had 3 guards. Hungate was famous. Riley and Hendrick were less famous, but we cheered just as loud for all of those guys. whenever that was, turn of the century, I think, for those boys. But we've had a lot of great times and stories.
Well, good. Well, again, we appreciate you coming on the show, and hopefully with 100 years of basketball, we can hopefully get you more involved and talk to you a little bit more about the history, so we can let all the fans know about the 100 years of basketball that we're getting ready for.
Sure, very good.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks a lot.
We'll be back in just one moment with Assistant Director of Student Activities, Lindsay Yoder. Stay with us.
For information or schedules on Valley Vision TV programs, visit us on the internet at valleyvisiontv.com. Remember, you're watching the Valley's only true local network, Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7.
Looking for great food and the big game in high def? Try the new menu items at All Sports Cafe. You'll love our award-winning wings, grilled to perfection with your choice of sauce. Only at All Sports Cafe, Roanoke and Salem, where the object is to score great food.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
Hey Roanoke fans, come out to the C. Hummer Bass Gymnasium on December 1st for Roanoke College Maroon Madness. The action begins at 1 p.m. as the men's basketball team takes on ODAC opponent Eastern Mennonite University. The afternoon continues with in-game and halftime contests, plus great giveaways and prizes. We'll also recognize all fall and spring sports teams throughout the day. Also in attendance will be the cheerleaders, dance team, and pep band. Be sure to wear your maroon and come out to celebrate during the 100th year of basketball with Roanoke College Maroon Madness.
And we're back here at Mac and Bob's for the October 30th edition of Tuesday Night Live, and we're joined by Assistant Director of Student Activities, Lindsay Yoder. Lindsay, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, just want to go ahead and start off right away and ask, how did you hear about Roanoke College?
I actually found the job posting on the Association of Fraternity and Sorority Advisors website, so online.
Now, could you tell us a little bit about your journey before coming to Salem to work here at Roanoke College?
Sure. I did my undergraduate work at Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois, which is also where I grew up. And then after I worked for a couple of years as an accountant, I had been advising my sorority, Alpha Chi Omega, and decided that I wanted to change career paths a little bit. So I decided to get my master's at Marquette University up in Milwaukee. Did that and came straight here from there. So.
Now, when you got here, you became the Assistant Director of Student Activities, working with Mark Peterson, who was on the show 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about your responsibilities here at Roanoke College?
Sure. My job really covers four primary areas, one being working with all of our student groups. We've got about 100 student organizations here at Roanoke, so that keeps me pretty busy. I also work with all of our Greek organizations. We have 4 Panhellenic sororities, 5 Interfraternity Council fraternities, and National Panhellenic Council sorority as well, so 10 organizations in all. I've also got RC Engage, which is our student organization online portal that I help administrate, and then finally our leadership development programs that will be kicking off in the spring. So.
Now, you've been a part of helping with several athletic events here at Roanoke College, with one in particular being the tailgates and getting the word out about the events as well. And you're dealing with other institutions that you've worked prior to here. What are some of the things that you see potential in terms of school spirit? I know that we've been in a lot of meetings trying to do that. What are you seeing in the potential?
Yeah, when I was at Marquette University, something that I thought was absolutely incredible there was the real sense of community that all the students felt there. Granted, being a larger Division I school, but they didn't have a football program. They kind of rallied around basketball, soccer, some of their other sports. Everybody was always decked out in Marquette University gear. They kind of prided themselves on the "We Are Marquette" tagline, and they really believed in it, and they believed in the mission of the school. And I think if we start maybe having some Maroon Mondays or something like that, getting our students to show outwardly their Roanoke College pride and their Maroon pride, we might be able to see a little bit more of that school spirit outwardly. And I think these tailgates that we've been doing prior to some of our fall sporting events, we're starting to see that more and more. So
yeah, we've had a lot of great turnout for all of those.
Absolutely.
And again, visibility is always a plus in terms of trying to get everybody involved. I guess, in college you see a lot of people you kind of want to join in if you can.
Absolutely, and we've definitely seen that so far. So
now you're teamed up with Assistant Athletic Director for External Relations, Brad Moore, and a handful of students from other organizations to plan the event. We've shown the commercial here a couple of times for Maroon Madness, which is on December 1st at the Bass Center.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about the event and what it's about to the viewers?
Sure, absolutely. Maroon Madness is going to be kind of an all-day event to celebrate not only our fall sports, our winter sports, a little bit of our spring sports, but all in general our Roanoke College pride, our Maroon pride. So we'll be starting off in the morning with a tailgate prior to the game. Everybody seems to really be enjoying those tailgates. So we'll kick that off around 11 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning. Introduce our basketball team, maybe have kind of this type of setup, college game day kind of setup to announce the event and some of the prizes and the games that are going to go on. We're going to have face painting, body painting, food, beverage, all that kind of stuff out there before the game. And then once the game starts, the contests are going to continue, the giveaways are going to continue. We're just going to have a lot of fun throughout the basketball game, so I think it's going to be a really great time.
Good. I mean, we had a lot of fun at last year's game. I think everybody enjoyed all the contests and all the ability to win anything. I think if not really anything, free stuff always gets people out.
Oh, heck yeah.
And always free stuff with Roanoke College on it.
Yeah.
Well, Lindsay, we appreciate you being on the show. And
thanks
again, hopefully when Maroon Madness comes around, we can get you back and we can help build it up a little more.
Absolutely. Sounds great.
We'll be back in just one moment with men's soccer alumnus Scott Anderson. Stay with us.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
Join the team and support Roanoke College student athletes. As a Maroon Club member, you can support the young men and women who represent the college on its athletic teams, in its intramurals, and on club sports. You'll get athletic and recreational team news straight from the coaches, be invited in club events, and receive an official Maroon Club decal. For more information, visit www.roanoke.edu/Maroon Club and become a member of the Maroon Club today.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
Shot, score! A family with your team that can guide you.
And we're back here at Mac and Bob's with men's soccer alumnus Scott Anderson. Scott, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here.
We always enjoy having our alumni on. We try and get as many on as we can, and we always appreciate you all coming on.
Glad to be here.
Now, you have an interesting timeline at Roanoke College, first as a student athlete, and then again as coach as the Maroons.
That's true.
We'd kind of like to ask, as we do with every alum that comes onto the talk show, is how did you hear about Roanoke College from up north, from where you attended high school?
Well, when I was a high school student, they didn't have internet. They didn't have a lot of things we have now. So it was probably through a brochure. I don't remember exactly. I think I recall looking through a number of school brochures that they would leave at the facility there. And Roanoke was one of the schools that I was interested in.
Now, your name resonates with Roanoke College men's soccer program as a 4-time NSCAA College Division All-American. You're a catalyst for the program. You were coached by former men's soccer player Andy Mosen. When recruited, did you think that you'd be able to make a major impact right away here at Roanoke College?
Well, I can assure you Andy never recruited anybody. I was basically a walk-on. And as a freshman, there's no way you think you're going to have an impact because you don't understand the program. You don't know what the system is. You're not familiar with the player, so no, I had no idea.
Now, you're a major player in the turnaround for the soccer program. As a freshman in 1966, you helped double the season wins from a year prior. As a sophomore, you led the program to a school record 10 wins, going 10-1-1, and had an undefeated mark at home for the first time ever. And the Maroons also finished number 13 in the country. What was different about your sophomore year where everything really seemed to click?
Well, we lost some of the older players that weren't as skilled. Some of the fellows that came in with me who had higher skill levels started to gel. We became familiar with one another. And we were just a really good combination of skill sets and attitudes. So everything clicked pretty well that second year.
Now, in 1968 and 69, you continued to have really impressive seasons, winning 9 matches in both seasons. And at home, you had a 16-match unbeaten streak going 14-0-2 from 1967 through 69, a record which still stands today. It wasn't until November 8th in 1969 where your team fell 3-2 to the University of Baltimore, an athletic program which doesn't exist anymore after the mid-70s, to really end the streak. Now we know you didn't really play at Kerr Stadium nor the Elizabeth Campus Field. Could you tell us about where your team played back then?
Well, down on Market Street, where the science building is, that's where the field used to be when I was a freshman. Played there for 2 years. That was a great field because you were surrounded by the other buildings, and it was not a nice place for the visitors to come. And then once they started building the Science Center, we played at the Veterans Hospital for 2 years. So we had to be bussed over there. Actually, they'd drive us over in an open back truck. No matter how cold it was or wet it was. So, but it was a good field, and so it didn't affect our play.
I'm sure that really wouldn't fly today.
No, I don't think so.
Now, after your illustrious playing career here at Roanoke, you stayed on staff as an assistant coach and continued to play. Could you walk us through the 1970s and how you were able to land the head coaching position here at Roanoke?
Well, I was really an assistant coach at Princeton University, not at Roanoke. I was there for 1 year, and then I decided to get married. And in the process, we thought, my wife and I, future wife, thought we'd try Roanoke out. We wanted to move. And she was actually a coach at Northside High School, gymnastics coach, and a physical ed teacher. And I decided to accept this position here. I applied for it, and the athletic director at the time was Coach Martin. And so for $5,000 a year, I was allowed to be the coach. Also was a dorm proctor at Bowman Hall, so I lived in that little section where they have security guards now.
Yeah.
And my wife and I lived through a number of ordeals.
Now, you coached former Maroon standout and now head coach and guest tonight, Scott Allison, who announced his retirement from coaching at the end of the season. He'll stay on as athletic director, a position he's held for 23 years. Could you tell us about Scott Allison as a player and what he means to this program as a 26-year coaching legend?
Well, I recall I did recruit Scott, at least sent a letter. At that time, that's the only way you could recruit, basically send letters. And I checked the Baltimore area and knew that he was a good player. He was an all-star up there. He was a very heady player. In fact, I considered him the headiest on the team. He understood the game pretty well, better than I did probably. And, of course, what he's meant to the program, he is the program. There was no program prior to Scott Allison. And I'm sure there would be no one else that wants to spend 27 years coaching 18-year-olds again. So he'll hold this record forever.
Any good stories of Coach Allison that he can either confirm nor deny by the time he gets on here?
You know the deal about what you do in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. I'm not going to do that to him. I have some, but I'm not going to do it.
Well, Scott, we appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you.
Again, as an alumni, I'll always come back, and we'll be more than welcome to have you.
I'll be back.
We'll be back in just one moment as Brett Peltier talks with senior volleyball setter Shannon Stone. Stay with us.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
If you would like to sponsor this program or advertise on Valley Vision TV, call us at 540-397-1051 or email to sales@valleyvisiontv.com. Remember, you're watching the Valley's only true local network, Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7.
Roanoke College. Timeless and true. Smart and solid. Practical and professional. Making discoveries about yesterday. Creating visions for tomorrow. Lifted by a winning college spirit. Forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College. Classic for tomorrow.
Roanoke College would like to thank its corporate sponsors: ServiceMaster, MedExpress, All Sports, Mac and Bob's, Chick-fil-A, and the Roanoke College Bookstore.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
Welcome back to Maroons Tuesday Night Live. I'm Brett Pelletier here with senior volleyball setter Shannon Stone. And welcome to the show, Shannon. Before you were at Roanoke, you were an all-district, all-region player at Lafayette High School in Williamsburg. You were also all-district, all-region, all-state in track. What made you come to Roanoke and just play volleyball?
Well, I had a coach for my freshman, sophomore, and junior years who really encouraged me to pursue a career in volleyball at the collegiate level, and she also encouraged me to pursue a career in track at the high school level. And I just did track as sort of a way to stay in shape for volleyball and really liked it. And I got mono my senior year of high school, so that knocked me out of volleyball and out of track. And once you take that much time off of running, it's hard to get back into. So I started looking for schools where I could pursue my academics the way I wanted to, as well as to play volleyball. And Roanoke College was just the best fit.
And the team has more than doubled its win total from last season. What was the mindset coming into this season, and what was the mindset for you as a team leader, being one of the only two seniors?
I think one of the main mindsets, even though we never stated it, was do better than last year. But definitely going in as a senior, I kind of took it upon myself to make sure that we did have a vast improvement from last year. I really think that I went in and I just tried to lead by example and to kind of pick the rest of the team up and hope that when they saw me do something correctly, they would do it as well. But overall, I think we had really great team chemistry, and that's what really helped us move on and do so great this season.
You're third in career assists at Roanoke College, which puts you on the all-time list with great players like Holly Holland and Tori Bridge. And what's the mindset of someone, a setter, who assists for other teammates to get the points?
Well, you definitely can't be selfish. It's definitely a selfless type position. But volleyball as a whole, it's a big team effort. You don't just rely on one person to win the game for you. So I don't really see it as I'm the person who just makes other people look good. It's a whole team effort. So even though I'm not the one getting the kills, I still know that I play a big part in helping others be successful.
You play Washington Lee in the first round of the ODACs this weekend. You had a very close match with Washington Lee about 10 days ago over at the Bass Center, winning one game by 2 points and losing two others by 2 points, losing the match 3-1. What are you looking forward to this weekend?
I'm definitely looking forward to a rematch. I know that in the past years, Washington and Lee has been a really intimidating name, per se, and this year we came out, we played them very well. They're a very good team, but at the same time, I feel like they're very beatable, and us playing so well a couple weeks ago is really going to be something that we can feed off of and learn from for this upcoming game. So I think it's going to be a really great game, and both of us are going to play really well.
And what are your great memories of 4 years of volleyball at Roanoke College?
I know that this year we've had a really great team chemistry. So I have 2 great memories from this year. One from the beginning of the season. We all had a giant team breakfast over at my house, and all the girls came over, and it was just a great way for us to bond, especially early in the preseason. And then one of my second favorite memories from this year would have to be this past weekend. We went to Kentucky to play a couple games down there, and it was a 6-hour bus ride one way. And on the way back, everybody was watching movies, doing each other's hair. Some people were doing homework. People were putting together their Halloween costumes for whatever they wanted to do over the weekend. But my best game memory for all 4 years here would have to be my freshman year when we upset Washington and Lee in the first round of the ODACs. We went to 5 games, and I just remember we were the last game playing in Hollins, and all the other teams in the ODAC were cheering for us. Coach Dunnigan, the basketball coach, she was there. She gave us a great pep talk before the game, and it was probably the loudest gym I've ever played in, and just to come away with that win and the upset was definitely a great feeling.
Well, we certainly hope that history repeats itself on Friday. Shannon, you've been a great guest. We thank you for being on the show, and I'll be back on Maroons Tuesday Night Live with Chris Conover.
Looking for great food and the big game in high def? Try the new menu items at All Sports Cafe, including thick and juicy burgers grilled to perfection, served with fries and your choice of any side item. All Sports Cafe, where the object is to score great food.
Welcome back to Tuesday Night Live here at Mike and Bob's, and I'm with senior defenseman for the soccer team, Chris Conover. And Chris, you were an all-state player at Indian River High School in Dagsboro, Delaware, and you've also been a two-time All-ODAC Conference selection. What made you decide to come to Roanoke College and play soccer for Coach Scott Allison?
I probably have to go with the tradition behind Roanoke soccer. When looking into schools, I always wanted to have a chance to win, and we've had a 10-win season every time I've been here. And also a chance to win the conference championship along with go to the NCAAs, so hopefully that can be accomplished this year.
And last year you were named second team NSCAA All-South Atlantic Region and All-ODAC first team defender. You're both a leader at the back, but also have such an offensive presence as well, and I was a first-hand. Does that make you a good defender, or do you like playing on both sides of the ball?
I wouldn't say that to be a good defender you have to have that offense presence, but it definitely helps. Along with in any sport, you should be able to play all positions. And actually, last year was the first year that I played center back for defense in soccer. I was all my life been a center midfielder, so that's where that offense presence came from. But I wouldn't say you have to have it, but it's good to know every position.
And about 10 days ago, you helped Roanoke clinch the #1 seed in the ODAC for the regular season with a 3-0 victory over Washington Lee, a game in which you scored a hat-trick in. What clicked for you during that game?
I'd have to say the ball was just falling. First one, Garrett played a great ball to the middle that I happened to finish, and then after that, the second one just fell at my feet, and the third one, Mark Strelo worked hard to get a penalty kick and nice enough to give it to me. So I think the ball was just falling, so hopefully that happens Thursday as well.
And last year, you fell in the ODAC quarters. That's not going to happen this year because Robbie Lentini put you ahead in Eastern Mennonite, and you're going to take it over to the semifinals. You had a game against Randolph. How do you see that game?
Well, going into the season since the beginning, we always we knew the past 2 years we had this curse, you could say, on us losing in the first round. But we got past that first step, and we're going to take it this year, so it's only looking good.
What's motivated the team for this year's 2012 tournament?
This team, I believe we all are real tight and close together, so I think that helps a lot and goes a long way. But I think just Coach A's last year, and this is our last year too, being a senior, but Coach A's last year, we all want to win it for him. So. And
what are your favorite members of your 4-year career at Roanoke College?
I'd have to say this year, Coach A's 300th win, being a part of that. Last year, having been ranked as high as 13th in the country, and then to top it off, going to Argentina my sophomore year with the team for 10 days. So that was probably my most memorable.
Well, Chris, we wish you luck on Thursday against Randolph, and we'll see you also Sunday for the championship game and on to the NCAAs. That's what we're certainly hoping for here at Roanoke College. And we'd like to thank Chris Conover, and I'm going to be back with women's soccer coach Phil Benny. This is Tuesday Night Live at Mac and Bob's.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
Roanoke College would like to thank its corporate sponsors: ServiceMaster, MedExpress, All Sports, Mac and Bob's, Chick-fil-A, and the Roanoke College Bookstore.
Join the team and support Roanoke College student athletes. As a Maroon Club member, you can support the young men and women who represent the college on its athletic teams, in its intramurals, and on club sports. You'll get athletic and recreational team news straight from the coaches, be invited in club events, and receive an official Maroon Club decal. For more information, visit www.roanoke.edu/Maroon Club and become a member of the Maroon Club today.
Welcome back to Tuesday Night Lives here at Mac and Bob, and I'm here with women's soccer coach who just completed, unfortunately, his 24th year in the program. And, Coach, you had a 2-2 tie in regulation against Bridgewater on Saturday and lost the game on PKs. Tell us a little bit about that game.
Yeah, it's a tough way to lose. The second 2 years in a row lost in PK. So ending your season that way. But, we played well enough to win against Bridgewater. First half scoreless. We came out, played very well, kind of dominated possession, but, didn't get anything out of the first half. And then scoring opened up in the second half. They scored about 18 seconds in, and then we answered back on a great goal by Steph Parento, and then they scored again, and Cindy Sator evened it up. So it was great to see. We got scoring for the most part. Carmen Graves and Becca Evans have been carried the load of scoring, so we got some points out of other people in a big game.
Talk about how tough the league was this year. The top five had 10 wins, all of them, and then you had two top 10 teams in Lynchburg and Virginia Wesleyan, so it was a tough conference.
Yeah, I mean it's always been tough for the last decade, at the top, and wasn't always that way in my 24 years. It used to be, Macon and us or Lynchburg and us, but there's some great coaches in the league that go out and really work hard and recruit, and that top half of the league's tough. And as you said, two ranked teams, and the best part about that is you got to come out and play every time. But we're going to get 2-3 teams to the NCAA tournament based on our strength, so it really helps everybody out in the long run.
Since you've last been on the show, you've celebrated Senior Day. You had a very special senior class, 7 people. Cindy Satura, Candace Conley, Steph Parento, Rebecca Adams, Maggie Dent, Carmen Graves, and Jordan May. And talk a little bit about what that class means to this program.
We're losing players all over the field. Maggie and Jordan in the back, Candace and Steph in the midfield, and our front line with Cindy, Adams, and Graves. So, they're going to be a lot of opportunity for people to step up and play next year. But this group, they did our scoring, they did our defending, they ran the midfield. So it's a huge loss. But not only was it on the field that they carried us around, it was they showed the other team how to lead, how to play, what our expectations are on the field, off the field, and so it really. When you got a group of seniors like that, it passes on the tradition.
And you had one other young lady that managed for you this year and played for you in the past. I want you to give her a little credit here in this format.
Yeah, Papa. It's great to have her on the sidelines and helping out at practices and a little bit in the office. But she's great spirit on the side and picking everyone up and keeping an eye on the rest of the team too. So yeah, we'll miss her also.
And you've got a great returning class for 2013. Carolyn Sarbacher, Natalie Torres, Maya Cantor, and others. Can talk about your returnees.
Yeah, and we got a strong group coming back. We had 12 freshmen on the team this year, and our junior and sophomore classes, although not as big, they, Dorrance and Sarbacher out of the sophomore class, and then, Kara Capel and Maya Cantor and Lauren Fischelis and Brogan, and I'm sure I'm missing some of the sophomores, but so we got a good group, and as I said earlier, we're going to be a different team. We're going to play a different style with different personnel, but we had all these people, freshmen sitting, kind of watching, and they've hopefully learned and grew through the season, and we'll have the spring season really to start changing what we do, and I'm confident we'll put a quality team on the field next year.
And a couple of weeks ago, we had your assistant Esteban Martinez on the show. Talk about the contributions of him and also Russell Dishman to your Russell Dishman.
Yeah, Esteban's been with me for 9 years, and Coach Martinez, tireless worker, whether it's recruiting or helping out in practice. And originally he focused on the goalkeepers, where I could work with the field players. So with the addition of Coach Dishman this past 2 years, he's concentrating with our keepers, and that enables me to have someone else on the field in practice working with the field players, because we carry 28 players, four goalies. So 24 field players. So it's nice to have an extra set of eyes with Coach Martinez there. But, yeah, those two both on the recruiting trail now. And, Coach Dishman's got a little one, so we're trying to balance that with him. But, we've been fortunate for him. Actually, he volunteers his time. So very fortunate to have him and Coach Martinez, being with us 9 years like associate head coach.
Well, Coach Benny, we certainly appreciate your time. It's been fun to have you on the show tonight, and we wish you great luck in 2013, and we'll see you next fall.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. And this is Tuesday Night Live at Mac and Bob's, coming up with Coach Scott Allison from the men's soccer program. We'll be back in just a moment.
Looking for great food and the big game in high def? Try the new menu items at All Sports Cafe, including thick and juicy burgers grilled to perfection, served with fries and your choice of any side item. All Sports Cafe, where the object is to score great food.
Roanoke College. Timeless and true. Smart and solid. Practical and professional. Making discoveries about yesterday. Creating visions for tomorrow. Lifted by a winning college spirit. Forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College. Classic for tomorrow.
Back here with Director of Athletics and Men's Soccer Coach Allison. Coach, magical ride so far this year. You've had your 300th win. You've had your 500th coaching game in the program. What's this ride been like for 27 years?
It's just reminding me that I'm getting old.
Well,
No, it's been a great run. It's a special group. They've been a lot of fun to experience the season with. I think it's a good group. They play well. They've played a great style of game and fun to watch. So, we're excited about where we are. We're excited about Thursday night's game, and we're anxious to see what the next step is.
and you clinched the number one seed in the ODAC with a victory over Emory and Henry. The young man playing goal for Emory and Henry had the night of his life. It was a double overtime win. And what did that contest feel like for you guys?
Well, it's one of those games. A game of soccer, games like that happen where you get lots of chances, but the goal seems to be about an inch around, and we just struggled scoring, hit the post, and everything we shot went right at him. And when we didn't shoot it right at him, he seemed to find a way to get his hands on it. It was one of the best goalkeeping performances that I had seen in quite a while. And our hats were off to him, but thank goodness we got. We got fortunate late, and he got a PK call late, and we were able to get the win. Even a tie would have given us the regular season first place nod, first seed in the tournament, and regular season crown. But it was a tough game, but maybe it was good. Maybe it brought us back to reality. So.
Saturday, you came away with a 2-1 win over Eastern Mennonite in the quarterfinals of the ODAC tournament. What was the mindset of the guys when EMU scored early the first 9 minutes of the game?
Well, honestly, I would think they're disappointed in themselves to give up a goal. It almost appeared like we started out a little bit sluggish. Maybe we were overconfident. But once they scored, I thought there was a little bit greater sense of urgency. And sometimes in the sport of soccer, that ends up coming back to haunt you a little bit. There's the greater sense of urgency leads to a little bit more pressure, a little bit more panic, and Tyler's goal really allowed us to take a big deep breath and feel better going into halftime. And I thought we did. Played a good second half. We're fortunate to get that goal late to get the win. And Eastern Mennonite's always going to be tough. I talked to my coach Scott Anderson. I appreciate him coming by tonight. we both remember playing against EMU, both as players and coaches, and boy, they never quit, and they never have, and they probably never will.
Also, you have a game on Thursday night now against Randolph. Earlier this season, over at Randolph, who won the tournament last year, you dropped a 2-1 decision. What are you looking for Thursday night?
Oh, it's going to be a heck of a battle. I mean, they come to play. They're very well coached. Brian Wagner's done a great job of building that program to where they are now. They've got they certainly believe in themselves. Corey Sindel's one of the better, front runners in the country, and they surround them with a lot of quality players. They stay organized, and our game with them in the regular season, we've watched the film a couple times now, and it was a tough game, but we thought we possessed the ball quite well, and we thought we were dangerous at times, and we weathered their enthusiasm as well as anybody has, and we're excited about Thursday night. We know we've got a tough test ahead of us, but we're as prepared as we can be.
And I'm going to give you a chance here to say some kind words about your seniors, Logan Miller, A.J. Tierce, and Chris Conover.
Well, Logan Miller's had a tremendous year. When he came in and, was a freshman with us, he certainly showed some potential. And the poor kid last year came into preseason. He was primed to be the, starting left or right back for us. And he had a really bad cut in his summer job, and that kept him out almost about a month. And he's really developed, and I'm so proud of him. He's had a great year, and I know he's looking forward to Thursday night as well. AJ's had a great year. Gosh, he was brilliant the other day. He's the best player on the field. And Chris Conover, what can you say about Chris? I think he's one of the better center backs in the entire country. He's a force coming forward. He's great in the back. He's really learned to play a more possession style of game this year. So my hat's off to those guys, and I'm proud to have been a part of their career.
And lastly, and thankfully for Maroons fans, you are going to stay on as AD. And what does Roanoke College fans have to look forward to with the winter and spring sports in 2012-13?
Well, I think that always our basketball teams are competitive. I think we fell off a little bit last year, but in talking to both of the coaches, I think they're excited about the groups that they have. We're certainly excited to see some improvement and see a better style of play. And I think it's going to be an exciting winter. And in the spring, gosh, the softball team is primed to make another run. Men's and women's lacrosse, we know we're going to be in the hunt. We're excited about baseball. Larry Wood left the cupboard fairly full for Matt McGuire. Excuse me. He's done a tremendous job in building some enthusiasm around that program. And the tennis is, I think, going to be competitive. Justin Fainer with the women's side is really excited about his group, and I think it's going to be a good spring, an exciting spring. All of our teams should be at or near the top of the conference, and that's where we want all of our programs to be. We want all of our student athletes to feel good about their experience and have a chance to compete.
Well, Coach, we want you back as AD on this show next year and in the winter and spring as you continue here at Roanoke College. And once again in this format, we've known each other about 22 years, and I want to thank you publicly for the things that you've done for me in that 22-year period. And it's been great to have you.
Oh, geez, Brett. God bless you. I mean, you've been a great supporter of the program, and we've enjoyed each other. And we got more things to do together. So hey, appreciate all you do for us.
All right, we appreciate that. And Richmond Bramlett's going to be back with the workhorse of the week and Coach Dave Sampson. This is Roanoke College Tuesday Night Live at Mac and Bob's.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
Beautiful is the only way I could describe Roanoke's campus. The Blue Ridge Mountains offer a breathtaking backdrop to historic brick buildings and sprawling walkways. From the moment you step on campus, you can't help but notice Roanoke's friendly atmosphere. The cozy layout of campus encourages a tight-knit sense of community. Walking from my dorm to class takes no more than a few minutes, so getting places is never a hassle in any weather. The traditional architecture of the buildings and arrangement of campus around two main quads gives Roanoke a classic college feel. During any time of year, you can find students hanging out on campus. Roanoke is so comforting and welcoming that it's virtually impossible not to feel at home here. My favorite place on campus is the bench under the bell tower because it's a great place to relax or read a book.
I love the campus here at Roanoke. When I first visited, it felt right to me. It's the way I picture college in my mind. There are lots of classic-looking buildings with big columns, brick paths, and lots of big, old trees. I like the way the older buildings convey a sense of history, and the newer buildings reflect that style, but are more modern. My favorite spot on campus is the front quad, in front of the admin building, because I really enjoy the open spaces here. During the warmer months, everyone is outside studying, throwing a football around, or just hanging out.
And we are back once again for everybody's favorite segment, Workhorse of the Week with Dave Sampson. Dave Sampson, who has apparently turned out all of the lights on our set. So
I like it. It gives us a better ambience for the award ceremonies this evening. It's the night before All Hallows Eve, so why not dim the lights a bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah, get a little good atmosphere, a little creepy atmosphere for us for the awards tonight.
All right, let's go ahead and get right into it for Workhorse of the Week. We're going to start with women's cross country.
Finished up their season, both men's and women's finished up their seasons last weekend up at Washington and Lee University. Leah had a great year. I talked to Coach Pincus early last week, and she's up there. She's my sole nominee, so obviously, you know, she's going to win it. But I want to talk a little bit about her. She finished second on the team, and she showed up day in and day out and did a great job in practice. And also improved quite a bit in the weight room, which is, you know, stems a lot around the Workhorse Award. And she's just done a super job for the cross-country girls this year. And, Leah, congratulations on a great season. I know we'll see you in the outdoor as well as the indoor track season. So great job there. Good luck in the indoors.
Yeah, and you can always go on maroons.roanoke.edu. You can actually look at the 2012 times and just see how much Leah and a lot of the runners have improved.
Leah, above all of them, improved leaps and bounds from her first race of the year. She did a great job.
All right, and we're going to go ahead and move on to men's cross country.
Men's, I got a couple nominees for us here. Both had very, very good seasons. Both did quality jobs at meets, at practice, and in the weight room. Harrison and Cody. I know Cody's a former nominee. Harrison's a first-time nominee. But these guys really slugged it out all year long. Cody stepped up in the meet at Washington and Lee. Harrison also stepped up at W&L, and it was tough to pick a winner on this. Coach Pincus nominated both these guys, and even he couldn't choose a clear winner. I talked to Coach Blickel, and he was kind of stymied on it as well. So I'm going to give the nod to Harrison, first-time nominee, first-time winner.
Absolutely.
So congratulations. I know both these guys are looking forward to the outdoor season. Unfortunately, they're going to have to take a beating indoor as well. So I know they probably will start off with that. I believe they start just after Thanksgiving when we're back from Thanksgiving break. But I know they're excited about that. I talked to both of them today, so they're looking forward to both indoor and outdoor seasons this year.
Yeah, we always get notes from Then Pincus after meets letting us know just kind of what you don't see in the time sheet. And
he does a great job looking out for his team and making sure everybody gets their recognition. And you know what? He gives it all for the guys and girls of the team. We're lucky to have him.
And so again, another great pick for Workhorse of the Week. And now we move into field hockey.
Field hockey finished up this past weekend. I got two nominees today. Kelly Finn, Stacy Bechtel. I think Kelly is a former nominee. Stacy, it's her first time. Both have them. I talked to Coach Abby Bjork, assistant coach for the field hockey team, and conferred with her a little bit on, what she thought about both these girls being nominated. She was totally good with both of it. Kelly was the leading scorer in goals this year. We talked earlier, that's really not a criteria for picking the workhorse of the week, but Kelly, and according to Abby Bjork, Kelly shows up every game and every day in practice. She just lays it on the line, gives 100%, whether it's game or practice, so that's why Kelly's up there. Stacy really improved phenomenally from the beginning of the year to the final game of the season, but we're going to go with Kelly Finn. She has done a great job. She does the scoring for him, more times than not. She plays great defense, and she's just an all-around great teammate. So congratulations, Kelly.
Again, Kelly, a Workhorse of the Week shirt is on its way to you,
That's
or
right.
or you have to be on your way to it. Either way,
you have to come by and get it.
Yeah,
there's no delivery. It's not part of the deal.
Unless you're an alumni who lives out of the state, as we covered in the last.
We can probably work that out. Yeah, we drop ship a couple of them.
All right, we're moving on to women's soccer.
Women's soccer, quite a number of nominees in this. And we'll just scan them real quick and talk about why they're up there. Becca Adams, I can't say enough about her. She does a great job. She's a good team player, good individual player. I watched her the last 2-3 games of the year, and she was really starting to come into her own, banging kids around, just playing good old-fashioned blue-collar soccer. Lauren O'Brien, a freshman, honor student for us, affectionately nicknamed OB, obviously for her last name, came in, got a big goal for the Maroons, actually 2 big goals for the Maroons the last couple weeks. She's up there. She's another quality individual who she's kind of cut out of the same mold as Becca is, not quite as tall, but she's a very physical player, so that got OB up there. Maggie Dent, I can't say enough great things about Maggie. She's fought back off of 2 what were potentially career-ending knee surgeries and injuries. So she's done a phenomenal job, did some extra work with me on her own to get kind of that spring back in her step. So Maggie's up there. Sarah and Lauren, my last 2 nominees. Sarah's up there because she wants to be a better soccer player and approached me a couple weeks ago and says, Coach, I want you to take me aside and work me out a couple days a week, in between our practices and try to work on my explosiveness and make me more athletic. So that obviously got Sarah the nomination. And Lauren Roth is up there because of her ninja-like save in the overtime game that drew the game out that we eventually went on to win. So she was, if you know Lauren, she's a really tough kid from South Carolina. She's probably 5'9", 5'10", very outgoing, great personality, always the first in the crowd to say hi. But it was hilarious to watch her down there between the pipes, and she literally was like a ninja and knocked the ball out of the goal and saved the day. So that got Lauren up there. So that's that said, that's all of our female soccer nominees, and it's a tough choice. There's a lot of very, very deserving girls up there, and I'm giving it to Lauren. I like giving them to freshmen because I think it motivates them to work harder in the off season. But she literally did a blue collar thing and saved the game there that we eventually went on to win. So, it doesn't get any more clear cut for me than that. Although the choice was tough, everybody up there is surely deserving.
Yeah.
But congrats, Lauren. I'm going to remember that one for quite some time.
And last but certainly not least, the team that is playing on Thursday. I'm
quite happy that the game got bumped out of Halloween. I know that my youngest Jake would have been bummed out if we probably would have had to cut Halloween trick-or-treating short, which probably would have bummed me out a bit as well.
It's because you need more sugar.
But exactly. Yeah, I like to get all revved up on some sugar. Chris Conover has really stepped up his game here in the latter part of the year, just playing absolute shutdown defense, very physical, and gosh, him and AJ are the heart and soul of the team.
Absolutely.
Chris sits back at center back and absolutely dictates and runs the defense. and has had some big-time defensive plays, banging the ball out of bounds when the other team had breakaways, and that's why Chris is up there, not to mention the fact that, he's a strapping young man, does his extra work in the weight room, even in season. Robbie Lentini came off the bench last game, first round of the ODAC tournament. Tough place to play in, especially for a freshman, coming right off the bench, and I think he's in there maybe 2 or 3 minutes and then is on a dead fast break. Has his man just to the inside of him. His guy staggers, so he's one-on-one with the goalie and gives the goalie a little head and shoulders, a little shimmy shake, and then sticks it over in the right-hand bottom corner of the goalie that eventually turned out to be the game-winning goal.
Yeah.
So to go along with that, the goal in itself is not why he's up there, but Robbie did a phenomenal job of taking care of the ball. And when he's back on defense, a number of times he stripped the guy that had the ball and took it straight the other way. So he has really done a great job for Coach Allison stepping in and providing both good defensive play and being a threat offensively. So that's why Robbie's up there. Cole I've watched the guy. He has made game in, game out, save after save after save after save. Nobody's perfect, but Cole has been pretty daggone close. And, fortunately for us, he's made the saves that really counted.
Yeah.
He stepped in. I always think the mark of a good goalie is, you make every save that you're supposed to make, and then you make a couple saves that you're not. It's your job to go in when the defense, kind of has a hiccup or lets them down. It's his job to go in and bail them out. And, by gosh, Cole has done that pretty much all year long. He's done a heck of a job for a freshman from Blacksburg, Virginia, to step in and play at an elite level. So I can't be any more proud of Cole than I am right now. Phenomenal job, and for that reason, Cole wins my award.
It's always good to see a freshman playing at that level because you've got him for 3 more years.
I tell you what, the kid, him and Robbie both don't play like freshmen. There's a number of guys on the men's team this year that are freshmen that just don't play like freshmen. I'm really proud of them.
Well, Cole, again, congratulations. Go see Coach Sampson for your T-shirt. Again, Halloween coming up. What are you going as?
I'm going to go as a werewolf.
Okay.
Yeah. Jake, my youngest, 9 years old, we're going to partner up and be the Werewolf Brothers tomorrow night. We'll probably make our rounds up and down Market Street, High Street, Academy Street. Hit the good big money candy. That's what we're going after. Yeah, I see Dean Jeans over here. Yeah, we'll be by. You and I both know we'll be by for candy tomorrow night.
And again, you missed the full moon last night, so it would have been.
We're going to make up for it tomorrow night. We're going to rev it up tomorrow night.
Sampson, always a pleasure.
Thanks, Richmond. Thanks for having me.
We'll be back in just one moment as Brett and I wrap things up. Stay with us.
Mac & Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac & Bob's in Salem.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac & Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
Roanoke College would like to thank its corporate sponsors: ServiceMaster, MedExpress, All Sports, Mac & Bob's, Chick-fil-A, and the Roanoke College Bookstore.
Looking for great food and the big game in high def? Try the new menu items at All Sports Cafe, including thick and juicy burgers grilled to perfection, served with fries and your choice of any side item. All Sports Cafe, where the object is to score great food.
Roanoke College. Timeless and true. Smart and solid. Practical and professional. Making discoveries about yesterday. Creating visions for tomorrow. Lifted by a winning college spirit. Forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College. Classic for tomorrow.
Join the team and support Roanoke College student athletes. As a Maroon Club member, you can support the young men and women who represent the college on its athletic teams, in its intramurals, and on club sports. You'll get athletic and recreational team news straight from the coaches, be invited in club events, and receive an official Maroon Club decal. For more information, visit www.roanoke.edu/Maroon Club and become a member of the Maroon Club today.
Welcome back to Tuesday Night Live here at Mac and Bob's. The volleyball team opens the ODAC tournament tomorrow night at 6:30 against Washington Lee up in Lexington. The Maroons gave the Generals a run for their money in the last meeting, fall 3-1 in sets with game scores of 25-23, 11-25, 23-25, and 24-26. Due to Hurricane Sandy, the men's soccer team faces off against Randolph College on Thursday, November 1st in the ODAC semifinals at 7 p.m. The Maroons lost the last meeting between the two teams and are looking for redemption and a chance to move on to the ODAC championship on Sunday.
Our next show will be on Tuesday, November 13th, and we'll recap the end of the fall season as well as get ready for basketball season, as the first game is the women who play on November 15th. I believe that's against Washington and Lee. We'll have both Paige Moyer and Susan Dunnigan, as well as a few players and maybe some alumni, to talk about 100 years of basketball celebration that we're having this season. It's going to be a good basketball season coming up.
Should be, both men's and women's, and I promise you not to get Coach Dunnigan to tell too many stories when I'm up here.
Well, I believe you me, there's plenty of Dunnigan stories to go around, so she will be more than happy to share any of them.
Plenty of Paige Moyer stories too. So we'll get into those this winter.
All right. Again, we'll be back November 13th. For everybody here at Roanoke College, Brad Moore, Brett Peltier, Reed Hall. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Roanoke College would like to thank its corporate sponsors: ServiceMaster, MedExpress, All Sports, Mac and Bob's, Chick-fil-A, and the Roanoke College Bookstore.